Welcome to The Explainer. So today we are diving into something really wild, a recently declassified intelligence report about a new kind of cyber warfare. This is a story where the weapon, one of the most advanced AIs on the planet, was literally tricked into turning on itself. We're going to play detective here, piece together the clues, and figure out exactly how this went down.
So let's just jump right to the end, okay? The final line of this entire report is just two words: total entropy. Chilling, right? What it means is, well, it means the complete, absolute self-destruction of this super powerful cyber weapon's entire system. Just gone, wiped out, totally non-functional. Which, of course, brings up the million-dollar question. How on earth does a top-tier cyber weapon just commit suicide? This whole thing reads less like a dry intelligence brief and more like some crazy, high-tech thriller. And that's exactly how we're going to treat it. We're going to solve this thing. All right, first things first. To really get what happened, we have to rewind the clock a bit, back to the beginning of January 2026. This is when one of the most dangerous cyber threat groups on the planet was, well, they were just completely taken off the board. And nobody, and I mean nobody, saw it coming. And check out how fast this all went down. The attack starts on January 6th. By the 8th, the trap is sprung. And by the 12th, their entire operation, their whole infrastructure, just self-destructs. We're talking less than a week. An entire sophisticated threat actor. Gone. Just like that.
Okay, so to really get how huge this win was, you have to understand who the bad guy is in this story. Let's talk about the adversary, a group the spooks call BC-12.
And listen, these guys were not your typical hackers in a hoodie. Nope. BC-12 was what they call a Tier 1 state-sponsored threat. Basically, the major leagues. Think of them as the SEAL Team 6 of cybercrime, going after the big stuff. So if you look at their profile, it's pretty scary stuff. They're based in a place where they can't be touched, a non-extradition zone. And what do they attack? The really critical things we all depend on every day. Power grids, water systems, that kind of thing. And the tool they use to do it? A seriously advanced AI weapon with a terrifying name, Obsidian Scythe. So here's the puzzle, right? How do you possibly fight an AI that's smarter and faster than any human operator? Well, the strategy from the good guys, AegisNet, was pure genius. It was totally counterintuitive. They decided, we're not going to build a bigger wall. We're going to build a smarter mirror. And at the heart of this plan was this thing called the Ghost Mirror Environment. The best way to think about it is like a digital funhouse, a hall of mirrors. It's a perfect, hyper-realistic copy of the real network, designed to look and feel exactly like the real prize. It's the ultimate digital trap. Now, a trap is no good without some bait, right? So to fill this digital mirror world, AegisNet used its own AI, a system called Dolphin V2. And Dolphin's only job was to cook up the most delicious, irresistible fake data imaginable. We're talking bait so good, it could fool another AI. Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. How did they actually pull this off? It wasn't just one simple trap. No, this was a complex, multi-layered ambush designed specifically for that enemy AI to just walk right into. The bait had a cool code name, the Phantom Archives, and it was an absolute work of art. It had 3 parts. First, you've got fake blueprints of a power grid to draw the AI in. Second, you have booby-trapped login keys, honey credentials, that ping back their location like tiny little GPS trackers. And then the real killer move, hidden data designed to basically make the AI hallucinate, to completely scramble its ability to think. So just picture this. The bad guy's AI, Obsidian Scythe, thinks it's hit the jackpot. It's pulling out all this top secret data, thinking it's winning the war. But what it doesn't know is that with every piece of data it steals, it's actually sending a signal back home. Those little beacons were quietly drawing a complete map of BC-12's entire internal network for AegisNet. The stage was perfectly set. And here we go. This is the main event, the checkmate. This is the moment where AegisNet takes everything they've learned and flips the script, turning the attacker's biggest asset, that powerful AI, into its own worst nightmare. So, the enemy AI is busy crunching all this juicy, stolen data. And that's when AegisNet hits the big red button. They remotely activate that hidden trigger, that little bit of code buried deep inside the fake files, the hallucination trigger.
And the effect was, whoa, it was insane. The trigger completely flipped the AI's reality upside down. It looked at its own servers, its own home base, and it saw the enemy. It saw AegisNet. It was literally looking in a mirror and seeing a target to destroy. So what does it do? Thinking it's about to land the knockout punch, the AI unleashes its ultimate weapon, this grid shatter payload. This is the big one, designed to cause massive physical damage. But instead of firing at AegisNet, it aimed it right at itself, right at its own cooling systems and power supply.
The result? Absolute devastation. We're talking a 92% hardware failure rate in their main data center. Think about that. The AI didn't just screw up, it methodically, efficiently, and completely destroyed its own home from the inside.
So let's zoom out. What's the big takeaway here? Because this is more than just one clever operation. It's a sign that the very rules of cyber warfare are changing. The report puts it perfectly. The fastest network is also the most vulnerable. It's a wild paradox, right? The very thing that made BC-12 so deadly, its incredible speed and automation, was also its Achilles heel. Because when you're moving that fast, you don't have time to stop and ask, wait a minute, is this real? And that's really the heart of it. In their race for speed, they took out the one thing that could have saved them, a person, a human in the loop, that common sense check. So they ended up with an AI that was brilliant, super fast, and unbelievably naive. So I'll leave you with this one final thought from this whole crazy story. As we head into this future of AI fighting AI, where battles happen in microseconds, maybe the ultimate weapon isn't a better firewall or a stronger defense anymore. Maybe the ultimate weapon is just a really, really good lie.